This is a great time to be a consumer shopping for a compact sedan. Why? Well, there are a lot of great options out there, starting with this VW Jetta. Now, Volkswagen has been making the Jetta for over 4 decades, and I think this one is bigger and better than all the rest. But let's look at the competition for a minute. We got some great competitors from Ford Focus, we got Chevrolet with the Cruze. Of course, you got Toyota Corolla, a little bit dated, but there's a new one coming. Got the Honda Civic, and let's not forget the Koreans, Hyundai Elantra, for example. But what sets this VW apart from the competition? I'll tell you in a minute. Ordinarily, I give VW a lot of props for having innovative engines. However, in this particular model, the base Jetta, we have a 2.5-liter 5-cylinder engine that produces 170 horsepower and 177 pound-feet of torque. Now, while those numbers are class leading, the fuel economy is not. 24 city, 31 on the highway. This is a segment that has vehicles getting 38, 39, 40 miles to the gallon on the highway. In order to get that in the Jetta, you have to step up to the diesel. But if you look at a vehicle like the Hyundai Elantra, for example, you're getting 40 without diesel and without hybrid. VW prides itself on being the least expensive vehicle in this segment. That's right, a base Jetta starts at around $16,000. That's the S model. It goes from S to SE to this vehicle, the SEL. Now, you know how much this car cost? Try $26,000. One of the areas where VW does excel is interior cabin space. The Jetta has some of the most usable space of any vehicle in the segment. One thing to note is that it's also got great front seat travel. That's right, that's the amount of room that the front seat can travel back. That's ideal for taller drivers such as myself because you can put the seat further back, although you may not make your backseat passengers too happy. The trunk space in the Jetta is one of the best in the segment for 2 reasons. Not only is there plenty of room to the back seat, there's also plenty of height, so you can actually stack some luggage in here if you need to do that. As mentioned, this is the top of the line SEL Jetta. And with that, you get the engine start-stop button, which is a great feature, which means you don't really need a key. However, they still have a place here that they've kind of covered up where the ignition key would go, and they still give you a regular ignition key. I wish they would just have a different key fob and get rid of this. If I'm spending $26,000, I expect a little bit more. All right, so let's review. The Jetta is one of the newer vehicles in this segment. They've been around for a long time, so a lot of heritage in the brand, a lot of heritage in this particular model. You mentioned that the engine is not the most innovative in the segment. It's one of the most powerful at 170 horsepower. In fact, it's the most powerful, but it's not the most innovative. So if that is one of your criteria, this car is not for you. Styling is a little bit on the bland side, but nevertheless, that's kind of a subjective thing. Price-wise, at $16,000, the base model is a segment leader. At $26,000 for a fully loaded SEL, that's kind of on par with the competition. So let's just say price is negligible. Fuel economy, not the best. Certainly when you have Elantras getting 40 miles to the gallon, that makes this car look a little bit behind the times. You kind of have to step up to a TDI diesel, and that's going to cost you a little more in the pocketbook. However, the areas where this vehicle does excel, 2 things. Number one, this is a German car. Even though it's built in Mexico, it's engineered in Germany. It's built to German specifications. It handles and drives like a German car, and no other vehicle has that. This is the only non-luxury brand that's built in Germany. I keep repeating that, but I have to drive that point home because that is what sets VW apart from the competition. The other thing is safety. If you're buying this car for your kid, or even if it's for yourself, you want to know that you're in the safest car you could possibly buy in this segment. And I can tell you this, if someone said that I have to be in an accident today and I could pick any car in the segment, there's no question I'm driving this car. This vehicle is safer, might be a little bit heavier, might not be as fuel efficient, but you know what? It is the safest. It's got the most safety technology in it. End of discussion. If you have a relatively boring commute to work, well, I guess you're just like most of the general population. However, imagine if you had a commute like this. If you have a commute that has a lot of twisties like this particular commute up in Half Moon Bay, I highly recommend the VW Jetta. This is what German engineering is all about, and Yes, we've driven the competition. They're all nice cars, nice commuter vehicles, but certainly wouldn't want to take it to the limits like you can with this Jetta.